Bonjour, hola, ciao. Ciao, no, that's one. Konnichiwa, sawadee, ni hao, humjabo, pozdrav, privyet, hey. We gotta start. Okay, so we're opening crates. I'm gonna do 300. 300 crates is the biggest amount. Oh, you get a flag. It's the biggest amount of crates that you can open in a single purchase. So we're gonna do all 300. So we're gonna open all crates. Get comfy, because this is gonna go on for a while. Now, what I want is the energy booster thing, because it seems you can't buy items anymore. You can only get items through this. So what I'm keeping my eye out for are the epic items and what frequency the epic items come in. That's what I'm after. And if it's the power booster thing, fantastic, because I didn't buy them, so I only have like one, and I've got to pass it between every bot I build. That I want to purchase. Did you hear that? Don't try and talk and breathe at the same time. Like, if you're trying to speak, don't breathe in, because you make that sound. So, that's only 5 crates. By like 180, I reckon I'm going to be like, oh, come on. But so far, 6 crates, 2 epic. No, wait. Red is rare, right? Epic. Yeah, purple is epic. Okay, fine, fair enough. Does anyone ever use healers anymore? Is that a thing anymore? Do they actually do anything nowadays? I'm not so sure. Another thing I discovered. Proto-seekers are still useful. And I'll tell you why. Okay, so you have your SMGs, you have your plasmas, and you have a weapon. Eventually it's going to chew through the energy that you have. Unless you're firing like 2 small SMGs, maybe. No, I can't answer this. I'm in the middle of something, sorry. So you can't, that's totally thrown me. I can't stop now, I'm 289. So, where was I? Yeah, so you'll eventually run out of power. Now, the good thing is that with Proto-seekers, once you've run out of power, you can put your Proto-seekers on, and even if you've got no energy, you're still getting a relatively good rate of fire out of the things. Certainly with the power booster module, which I like to use. So that makes Proto-seekers pretty awesome. Helium blocks are rare, really. Helium blocks, I feel a bit sorry for helium blocks because, they're only 6 P-flops now. They used to be 10. Okay, but helium just doesn't get used. Does anyone use helium in bots anymore? Because there was a time, listen to me, there was a time in Robocraft where you could have like just floating bots, and bots that didn't use wings or anything, just thrust and blocks, and they were quite slow. Well, mine that I built tended to be like almost like blimps. And other than rails, you didn't have to worry too much. Well, SMG fire, I guess, but that's gone now. Like, you can't be one of those things because some flak's going to eat you up. So we're on 282, and we haven't got a single gold. So it must be legendary. It must be rare, epic, legendary. Haven't got a single one yet. What's with that? Come on. So yeah, Proto-seekers, I like them. I'm also experimenting. Someone suggested. Thank you very much, by the way, for suggesting it. The power booster pack with the smallest size plasmas, and you get a fair few shots off before you run out of energy. And it's almost like an SMG volley, but with plasma. And I have to say, I quite like it. Another thing, I kept getting owned in a battle arena match I played last night by a helicopter. It was helicopter plasmas along the bottom, the high tier plasmas, and on the top it had Proto-seekers, which I guess is for anti-air. But that helicopter was pretty devastating to a ground unit like myself. Oh, Brazilian flag, nice. It was pretty devastating, but to a flak, it would have just chomped it down. And also, I saw a bot that was dual flak weapon. Do you need that much anti-air on a single bot? Yeah. So another thing, I don't think there is like the ultimate combination of weapons. I think some weapons have better things. What am I saying? I think that some weapons are better for certain situations. For example, shotgun. Launcher and rails, I would say, they're both long-range weapons. What else can I say? I said at 180 I'm going to run out of things to say. It's 270 and I've run out of things to say. I'm really going to have to get comfy with this because this is going to take a while. This is going to be a long video. If you're watching at this specific moment, just fast forward like 10 minutes and see What's changed? Has the smile gone? Am I just like... finally! Right, 270. 30 crates in. We got one legendary item. And it was the Hurricane Hoverblade. But that's not the power booster thing. It's going to make modules... I think modules are going to be really hard to get. Or can you just buy modules? It's going to make modules so difficult to get. Plus, we haven't seen... That's, like I said, that's the first legendary. It's a hover pad. The large hover pads, they're too big as well. They're too big for regular sized bots, I feel. Difficult. They take up a lot of space. I'm not going to be able to talk about Robocraft for this whole time. I haven't got anything to say. Like, I feel... Well, no, I do actually. I feel like I've rounded a corner with Robocraft because for a time they were bringing in a lot of weapons relatively quickly, and I wasn't having time to get accustomed to one before the next one came in. But that seems to have calmed down now, and I'm coming more to I'm coming more to I'm coming. I can't. Hello, sorry, Pooh. I'm in the middle of a video that I can't stop. Yeah, it's going to be a while though, but I will, okay? I'll let you know. Oh, wait. Ah! I just put on loudspeaker. Sorry, I'm sorry I took the call, but you can't stop this. It's a long video. I'm not stopping it. We're going to go the whole way through. I am regretting my decision to do 300. So, what was I saying? I was talking about weapons. That it was quite... Yeah, I feel like now I'm getting my head around it more. Wheels as well. Wheels are still awful. I'm really struggling with wheels. They seem really... They don't seem to have a place. I mean, they are nippy. They're the fastest ground thing, but tank treads are more stable, more reliable. And I find you're skiddy McSkidders with wheels. So I would go tank treads rather than wheels. I'll be honest with you. So what else has happened recently in the Robocraft world? So all the weapons come in, all of the modules. The modules are easier to swallow. Well, no, combine the weapons and the modules. A lot's been going on. But now that it's in, and there's been some time, we've been able to get more accustomed to it. Finally, what's this? Oh, a bat rudder. Okay. Don't mind if it does. Oh, it wasn't an epic? Legendary. Was it not a legendary? That's what it was. Ah. Oh! Now we're getting some things. Shotgun, a nameplate. So you get nameplates as well. I'm going to start using nameplates. They're fun. So, got a shotgun, huh? Ion Distorter. I like the name. Also, I really like how the weapon fires, the old Ion Distorter. How, like, the front section gets, like, forced back when it fires. Love it. So good. That's only 50... That's only 50 crates. Oh, sorry. Just an advert there. I do apologise. What are we going to do? Unprecedentedly long video. Should I draw something? Let's draw something. Let's find a piece of paper. Okay. I got a piece of paper. I've only got lined paper. Okay, we'll use the lined paper. It's fine. What should I draw? It's just me here. Well, I asked you what can I draw? What should I draw? But can't. What should we draw? Something... Let's just design a robot. I'm just going to design a robot right now. So, let's do... let's just do that. Okay, so that looks good. Okay. What kind of gun? Okay, there's the bot. So, I don't know if you can see that. It's got wheels at the front on these error rods right there, and it's got mech legs at the back, and on the top it's got an ion distorter. That's pretty good, huh? I know. I know what I'm going to talk about now. I'm going to talk about what possible extra things we can put into Robocraft. So, I like the idea of an energy leech. I think that's a pretty good one. An energy leech is a pretty good weapon. And also, so that it's not overpowered, you could only use the energy leech as your selected weapon, so that you can't energy leech them and then kill them at the same time. So it does no damage, right? And it's just a short-range beam weapon, and it means you can energy leech a target and allow a teammate to destroy them. Brings in a team element, I think. I think that's not so unreasonable. I like the idea of that weapon. I think that should be something that should come in. What else could come in? What else could we have? Someone, who was it who made it? I saw it on YouTube. I can't remember the name of the channel. Like chicken walker legs, like the reverse knee for like a fast mech. I like the idea of that. I think that would look awesome. But it couldn't be too fast. Because, you know, wheels take that role, hovers take that role. But slightly faster than mech legs, yeah. Weaker armour, but slightly faster than mechs. I think that would be great. A little chicken walker thing. Another thing I saw was like turrets. It's like a disc where you have like a certain amount of blocks on top and you can mount blocks and you can mount weapons in a way so that they track, so it turns the whole turret and you can have multiple guns on the turret. I suspect that would be very difficult to like code. I suspect. I don't know anything about how games are put together. I know it's a lot of work, but I don't know anything about the technical side of it. But so like turrets, so you have like a mass of blocks, so you can put it on this turret mount, and it rotates, and you can put guns, so it rotates like this. And I love the idea of that. That would be really awesome to have. Oh, an epic. Okay, yeah, no, stop. Yeah, that was it. No, to have like these turret mounts that rotate like that would be awesome. I love the idea of that. What else? Textures would be nice. So that like you can have you could have a color. You can have a color on the block, but then you could also put a texture on it. Something like that would be nice. I'd quite like that. Textures would be good. What about if you could? Here's another thing. So we've got textures, energy leech, like the spray can thing. I think it was in not Half-Life, Counter-Strike, where you can spray paint on a wall. So you could have a logo, and you could on the wall. You couldn't do anything offensive with it, but say you had like I don't know how it would work. You could have like a certain logo, maybe like a set of template stencils that you could have, and you put them together, and you can spray paint them on the ground and be like, just like as a mark. Totally pointless, but somewhat fun. So you know, like when matches first start, you can be like, spray a little mark, or when you blow someone up, spray a mark. Gotcha. I don't know exactly how it would work. Nice little touch though. Don't know where it would come in, because also, like Freejam, they are a business. They you know, I'm sure they'd get a kick out of making the game for sure, but they do need to make money, if anything, to pay the wages and to, you know, justify making the game. So you got to understand that. So when you suggest anything new, got to take into account the fact that they need to make money from it, and that it's viable, that it's something that can be done. Now, something that Robocraft does do, is quite good at, is changing very fast, because it's, you know, it's still under construction, and the game has changed a lot in the past year for sure. There was a mode called Boss Mode where a platoon of high level bots could go up against a greater number of lower tiered bots, and I loved that. It's a shame that mode went. There's a reason that it did, but that kind of element was really nice, because we've got Battle Arena, another hover blade, really. So we've got so lower tiered bots versus higher tiered bots, and that was really fun. It was an extra element. And I know we've got Team Deathmatch and we've got Battle Arena, but it's only the two, you know? Only the two game modes. And I liked the idea of fighting more powerful bots. And it's a shame that Megabots have gone, because like, if you could add in, say like you could have the extra CPU of Megabots, and just make it so that only like super high, like say the level cap's 150, say you get to 150, you unlock the option to make Megabots again, but you can only fight them in this big boss mode thing. I would like that. So like, it's not like you fighting, it's not like you being like 200 CPU versus 1750 CPU bot, but rather you could be anywhere from 200 to 1750 CPU, but you're fighting like Megabots. But not Megabots with the current limit. Megabots like crazy big blocks, like say 20,000 blocks, and also that 20,000 block bot could have conventional weapons on it, so it's not limited by mega parts. So like you're saying that you could have a 20,000 block flyer, 20,000 block heli. You know, you could have some kind of vicious monster coming after you. I don't think the game can handle something like that, like fighting against something like that. But that's something that I would love to see. And I don't think we're going that way because everyone's getting the bigger size. If you could do boss fights with like a mega bot, 20k CPU, and you could have any stuff on it. So you could have like all small tank treads, for example. That would be so good. That would be so truly awesome. I'd love to see that. Ah, glorious. I'd also like to see like a standalone mode, so like a sandbox mode, so that you're not connected to the servers or anything, and you can just have, say you wanted to make something, and like you wanted to use 30k CPU, and you just want to see what you could make, but just do it locally, so you can. Another Ion Distorter. So you could like have, you could just play it in your own mode. You could do the single player bot thing, but you could have 20k CPU, and you could build something with all the parts you possibly wanted and see how it does. That would be great. I'd love a sandbox mode in this game. It'd be so good having a sandbox mode. Oh, yeah, just to see like the massive things. Like you could still use the TX Bay. I don't know if it's still called TX Bay because I think everyone has it now. But yeah, just imagine if you had something like that. Oh, it'd be so good. Just think 20k with conventional parts on it. Forget about it. Like 8 shotguns. 8 shotguns, forget about it, single player. You just go on for days, just anything. Just I'd love that. That would be so good. What else is it that I'd like to see in the game? I wonder, let me think. Something else. Water would be nice. Like, yeah, I like the idea of water. And like, water could not protect you. Ah, yes, the power booster. Finally, I'm so glad that I got one of those. That's the one thing I was looking for. Good, and it only took 126 crates? No, 116 crates. At least I got one. Water. Now, water couldn't totally protect you, but I like the idea of like if you're in water, and for example, like missiles would only penetrate so far into water. So if you dive down deep, what leg is that? What leg was that? So say like you're in the water, missiles would only penetrate so deep before they detonate. So if you went really deep, you could hide. The downside of being in water, that if you fired rails or SMG, the water, being thicker than air, distorted the shot. So you could still fire out loads of shots and people could still fire shots in. But when they hit the water, or if they're fired in water, they veer off from their original course. So you can hide inside. It's like pew 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 pew. That would be nice. I like the idea of that. I don't know how. It would probably be quite hard to program water in, and also it's Mars, so it doesn't have water. So that would be a difficult one to do. I don't know how that one would work. That would be a bit of a problem. Also, with these 20k bots, I would love it like if they were just like a lot slower as well, like just like these big beastie things, but for some reason, something to do with the CPU limit that they could have, made them very slow targets. Like you couldn't be like, I'm gonna add 50 thrusters to it, and it's gonna fly so fast. I'd like the idea that it had to move slower, that it's like a land or flying behemoth. I like that, so it's slower. So water, yeah, I like the idea of water, and that it offered some protection, but not much. But it also like significantly limits your laser firing. So to fight someone underwater, you'd have to get really close, like float down next to them and be like blah 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 blah. I'd like that. Another thing I'd like to see, not like personal teleporters, but like say like a map had teleportation gates. Like say for example, on a map there's like 2 points or 4 points maybe, that are gates that you could fight for control of, and if you controlled the control node for the teleporter, you could travel back and forth from it, but the other team couldn't unless they captured the control node that accessed that gate. Maybe, I don't know. The idea of people coming out of the gate, fighting and going back in. I like the idea of that. It's like some kind of teleportation element to it. I'm not going to say another map, because there's a reason they haven't made more maps, and it must be like quite a time-consuming thing to do, because they haven't introduced new maps. Well, they introduced the Spitzer Dam. That came in quite some time ago, actually. So I'm guessing I'm not going to say more maps. What else? What about? Do you remember Unreal Tournament? I do. Unreal Tournament. There was a map called Opposing Worlds, right? And it was 2 towers floating in space or wherever it was, some kind of dimension, and it had a pathway between them, and you ran a fight. And there's this weapon, right, called the Redeemer. It's a nuclear missile launcher. Okay, ignore the nuclear thing, but it was a missile. And it's alternate fire. So normal fire, you just fire the missile. Psh, alternate fire, you guided the missile. So you then went into the missile and you flew the missile. Why not have a weapon like that? A weapon where you fire it. Say you fire one missile, it eats up all your power, but you can guide it. So you're flying the missile. It's not a super fantastic weapon because it leaves you out of your bot, so you're possibly in danger, and give the missile a time limit. Say that it's got a 10-second flight time, and you're like, woo. Now the trouble with if it depletes all of your power is that you would be able to fire it again instantly if your power's regenerating whilst you fired it. So let's say when you fire it, sucks out all your power, and it doesn't start regenerating your energy until the missile's collided with its target. So you'd have to wait the 8 or 10 seconds, depending on your power level, for it to regen. So like you would fire a guided missile. I like the idea of that, guided missile. Drones. What about a drone? You know, like you have it's like a little node and it just flings up a little drone. I'm getting this from Crossout. Like you just little drone with like a couple of SMGs on, just flows around. It's really easy to kill, but if you don't kill it, it can like pick at you, and it just stays with you. It just stays around you. It's easily destroyed. It's got like a cooldown, like on the Blink module and something like that, so that it's got some kind of drawback to it because it can't be too overpowered. But yeah, I'm thinking that would be quite good. Yeah, something like that would be good. Dumbfire missiles. Dumbfire missiles. In World War II, the Soviet forces had just like a truck, and it had like just like a metal grate slapped on the back, and they just stuck loads and loads of rockets on it, and it's just like, and so something like that. So like a missile barrage system, unguided, low damage, but you can fire a lot of them, and they just like, and I think it'd be nice to see the arcs of those weapons, because like with the missiles, you see the missiles streaking past, and that looks really exciting. I like that. But if you just had dumbfire missiles and you just saw like almost like fireworks, you know, and you just, trouble is you'd spam them, wouldn't you? And it might be quite hard on the servers to have all of those vapor trails going. But it could be possible. I mean, if you're having proto seekers flapping about everywhere, but you could handle some dumbfire rockets. Don't you think? I think so. What else? Here's another one for you, okay? Electroplates, right? I spend a lot of time trying to get electroplates to fit in. What about an electroplate? It can be like a legendary item or something, but it's malleable. So what I mean is, like, you could select, like, there's a certain size limit to it or something, or it's got a disadvantage, but you could click, like, 4 points or a certain amount of points, and then it fits to that section, and like it covers the blocks in their shape, like a net, not like a net, like a wet piece of fabric. So you just put it on, you select points, and it just sucks onto that section, and it becomes an electroplate. Not so much. They could be weaker than electroplates, but you could like there'd have to be some kind of limitation. Oh, what's that? A mega shield. So you'd have to limit it in some way, but like you could select points, ding, 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 and then it just goes on, and it becomes like an electroplate section. Maybe, I don't know. What else? On the subject of drones and guided missiles, why just have a guided missile? Why not have a guided drone? So it's incredibly weak, you're out of your bot, so you're defenseless essentially. Maybe like if you're taking hits, your screen will flash, or you'll get a little, you're taking damage, so you can abandon the drone, and it just blows up when you leave it, and you become your bot again. But you could fly this little drone. It's got just like 2 little SMGs. You just like, you could go out, track targets, fight them. I kind of like the idea of that. A controllable drone. Let's have that. I mean, I'm guessing that a lot of these ideas are so difficult to make that it's unbelievable. Like, yeah. What else? So we only had energy leech as far as support modules are. What other support modules could we have? We've got cloak, cloak blink, energy booster, energy leech. What about range extenders? Ooh, range extenders. So for like, there's been a little bit of controversy about the Proto Seeker's range being cut. What about if you could put a weapon on that increases weapon range or weapon speed? Not like fire rate, but the speed in which the projectile takes to get from A to B. So like your plasmas would fire faster, your SMGs would fire faster because your SMGs have to track a target, so they would fire faster. Maybe something like that. I wouldn't mind something like that. That'd be quite nice. What else could we have? Different cockpit designs. Now I know they're robots, but with the Titan, it was a Titan, that mech, the Titan mech. It had a cockpit. Let's get some more cockpit variations. Cosmetic parts. Cosmetic parts are quite difficult to... I know... So I guess they design the hull and then they chop it up and they give it little sprogs for it to connect to blocks. But yeah, something cosmetic. That's it. So not just more cosmetics, but giving cosmetics an armor value, so that it's not just something that's pretty that doesn't do any good. Like maybe like, I don't know, an armor panel, or like reflective, not reflective, ablative? No? Yeah, like those armor sections that they put on that they're just blown off, just to stop the projectile from hitting the main body of the vehicle. Maybe that could be like at the cosmetic part. I don't know. Some kind of... It's difficult because this game is like Lego, so you, like, especially with like the malleable electroplate, that would be a difficult thing to do. Okay, another thing. So you got tank treads, you got wheels. What about like half track wheels? So it's not quite a tank, it's not quite a wheel, but it's like a half track. So it's wheel, and a little tractor, like a caterpillar track, and it's like an in between movement method. Just a thought, maybe something like that. We're really pushing the ideas now. Like, how have I thought so much? How could I have thought so much? So now there's a lot of animal heads. They do like their animal heads in your Robocraft. What about something other than robot heads? Animal heads, like something a little bit more mechanical looking. Like you did it with the Alienware head. I'm talking like robot-like heads. Like, just say like, for example, like Transformer-esque heads. Just do that. Just little heads that you could put on, and make smaller or larger ones. You could have ones that are different sections, but just a head, like something you could plonk on and make it look a little bit more like a robot. Because the animal heads are great. They're 4 parts that have to join together very specifically, and they're quite big. Maybe something a little smaller. I don't know. What else? What else could we have? So we got hovers. We got... what else could we have other than hovers? Vertical boosters. Okay, so one-use boosters. You equip a boost. One-use items. Just one-use items. So the first thing I thought of was like solid propellant boosters. So you put these rockets on your bot, and it gives you a one battle use boost. So you like, so you could like boost up to the top of the map, come back down, and the rockets are done. They're one-time use weapon, like once per match, maybe not battle arena, once per life for battle arena. We have these one-time use weapons. So you have like solid state boosters, and you just like you could just use them to like, I don't know, get from point A to point B incredibly quickly, or go vertically. Not sure that would work, but one-time use weapons. Just like one-time use and that's it. Maybe like a blast radius. Although on the subject of blast radius, what about for battle arena or for team deathmatch the opportunity to self-destruct? Like, I'm dead. They're gonna get me. I choose to self-destruct, and depending on the percentage of bot left, dictates the size of the explosion. So if you're definitely dead, you're on 6%, and you choose to explode, you'll just be like. But if you're on 100% and you choose to detonate, it's quite a big brah. So like, you know, things it would make close encounters a little bit more dangerous. But say like, yeah, you know, you're on your way out, you're in your bomber, you've had your wings clipped off, you're on the ground, someone's pecking at you with a med laser. You'd be like, do you know what? I'm going to try and take you with me. The person shooting you still gets the kill, but you try and take them with you. I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't know how legitly possible some of these are. I got another one. So, some higher strength skis. You know, skis are like, well, they were like tier 5. Let's up the armor points of skis. Oh, another shield plate. Okay, nice. Let's up the strength of skis. I wouldn't mind using skis that are a little bit more durable. Skis are kind of... I wouldn't be surprised if skis left us, you know? Because they kind of came in a while ago, nothing's really happened with them. I wouldn't be surprised if skis disappeared at some point. Yeah, so sorry to hear it. So let's see if I can think of something else. We're on 80 crates now. Like, I can't get over that we've done this many. If this hasn't recorded, oh my days, it's going to be murder. What else could we try and put into the game? What else? The cosmetic spikes. I wouldn't mind, you know those cosmetic spikes that are in game? I wouldn't mind if they did a little bit of damage if you put them on the front and ram someone. Not as much as a Tesla blade, I'll give you, because they're always on. But I like the idea of being a spiky, like porcupine-esque kind of vehicle. And just if you bump into someone, it just does a little bit of damage. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit. I like the idea of that, because it would encourage you, if you get a Tesla in, you can be covered in these spikes as well, and you can jump in amongst the pack. Not necessarily kill people, but just do damage. Encourage people to like back away. Not, you know, I'm not talking like super damage from the spikes. I'm just talking a little bit. I kind of like the idea of that. It would certainly open up to another design type, that being like these porcupine kind of bots, and make the front kind of, people want to spike the front or the back, or you know, something like that. What else? Player. Okay, so you know you've got the bots. You can buy the bots. What about if you could buy parts, like a player market? I'm just taking all these ideas from Crossout. You got to give me some credit though. Some of these things I've just thought up on the fly, but you know I've been thinking of ideas now, solid, for this whole vid. So yeah, player-driven market. Why not? Let's put that on. I'm so just like, I'm sure everything I've suggested is so much work, so much unbelievable work. It's like crazy. Okay, here's another thing. This is something I'd like. So you've built your bot, right? You're really pleased with your bot. I'd really like it if you could just press a key and you go to like a map, Mars landscape. There's no HUD or anything, and it's just your bot. No yellow lines showing the firing arcs. The guns aren't rotating, but you can just look around it in a Mars landscape and you can get like a nice picture of it. You can take that picture and you can plop it on Pinterest or whatnot and be like, hey, look, I made this. Bang. And also you could use that for your picture on the RoboShop. You know? I like the idea of that. Like, just so you could just have an image of it. You could choose like, I don't know, it could be snow map or Mars map, or just one. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. But just a nice big crisp picture of your bot, not in a bay, not with a HUD, just like really like, I could go for that. I think that's something that should come in. I'd like that. That's certainly something I'd like. Excuse me. What else? What else could we have? What else? Well, we talked about energy leech. EMP. An EMP weapon. Something that temporarily paralyzes. Now, you could have EMP protection. Maybe the shields, when you deploy them, protect you from EMP pulses. Or even that, a pulse weapon. Just a weapon that you can equip and it fires out a pulse. It's really low damage. Well, not really low, but not super high. You know, moderate. And it's like a pulse. It's like a brown. You can fire out a pulse, or it continuously fires out pulses. If we're going to go for that thing, you could have like a blast pulse, be it a support weapon. It'd probably be a support weapon. I don't think it would be a main weapon. A support weapon, and it just shoots out a pulse. It like sucks out all your energy, but it fires out a pulse. It takes a little bit of time to recharge. If we're going that way, flamers. We take flamers. You could change the name, like I don't know. Good name there. Yeah, good job, Table. So, yeah, but flamers, they just seem a little bit something different to flamers. Something. What other weapons? Maybe it's not a weapon we should be thinking about. Electroplates, yeah. See now, the electroplates, getting them to fit in properly is a bit of a pain. And also, like with electroplates, like okay, you remember I said about electroplates and you like picking these points, and then it becomes like a section to it. How about the electroplates? You place like. You go like into an... Oh, it's too specific. It's too complicated. I was going to say, like, you go into a menu for electroplates. You put together a certain amount of blocks in a shape, and that makes a plate, and then you can adjust with blocks how it fits together, and then plonk it in. It's too complicated. It won't ever happen. It's too complicated. Movement types. Hovers, rails. We've got, like, the spider insecty legs, and then the mech legs. I suggested the chicken legs. Well, I didn't. I just like recommended the idea someone else had already thought of and designed. It looks awesome, by the way. I think it's Awesome Soul who did that. So we've got chicken legs, but another movement type. Do we even need another movement type? An altitude increase? That might be difficult to do, but maybe an altitude increase. So like, if flyers are going to fight, like they could really fight like really high up if need be. You'd still need to be able to hit them if you're a ground unit. Like, for example... Well, no, if you're a flyer and you stay up high, the enemy can still go and capture stuff. So you might have to descend. But I'm talking, like... So aircraft could fight if they wanted to. And, like... Because at the moment, height is a disadvantage. You fly up high, everyone can see you. You're a target for everyone. But I'm talking add extra height on it. So that if you fly to a certain level, you're out of dodge. Like, it gives you that protection. But... You're vulnerable then to other aircraft that want to like engage. So like you could come across an interceptor. But then if you want to fight ground targets, you've got to descend into that danger zone to engage ground targets. I kind of like that idea because then that would encourage like bombing runs. So you dive down because at the moment you've got to stay by the ground. You've got to fly. You basically got to fly like a hover. But if you've got the height safety zone, apart from interceptors, you can fly up. You could dive down, attack. And then try and get back up. Like, you could blink yourself back in. Like, if you dive down, you attack a target, but you haven't done much damage, you're taking flak. You blink back up to try and get back into that safety zone. But you're a little bit too damaged, so you start to descend again. And you kind of float back into that danger zone. Oh, man, that would be nice for flyers. Because there's a lot of stuff, like, poor old flyers. And say, like, in the safety zone... Say like flak could keep reaching it. Oh yeah, flak could still get up there, so you still see flak going off, or maybe it would get to a certain point and detonate. So like I don't know. Yeah, you could get to a certain point and detonate, so you could be above it and you could see the flak going off and be like, oh, someone's trying to get me. And you could just see the. That'd be quite nice. That would mean you need extra maps. It would just add another layer to an existing map where you could have more. Air fights and helicopter fights, more aircraft on aircraft things, because aircraft need to have their place as well. That's for sure. I tell you what, with 29 from the end, I'm surprised on how few legendaries we've had. Like really quite few. I mean, you tell me if that's not a lot. I don't think it's a lot. Okay, yeah, these are see here. That was the spike thing I told you about, being able to do a little bit of damage. So we've got Teslas. What about some kind of chainsaw? Some kind of saw, something that rotates. A circular saw would be nice. I would like that. That'd be kind of nice. Arms? How would they work though? How would you use arms? There's really no reason to have arms. What about an arm? A fixed arm. It's like... yeah, it's like arrow rods, but it's an arm. So you actually have a physical arm, and it has connection points on it, connection points for it to join up, but you can put arms on stuff, and they're fixed arms. So you just make a nice looking arm, and you can add guns to it. It's got like gun mounts. You've got like arms for like lower level items maybe, and then guns for bigger items, so that you can concentrate on the body, slap some arms on, and you could have like arms and legs. So you've got mech legs, but then mech arms, and then you just need to concentrate on designing a body. That'd be quite nice. That's possible. No? Is that a good idea? I don't know. What else could we have? Surveillance. What could we have in order to help locate people? So I said about the drone. Say you could send out a sonar pulse. So say you haven't targeted people, but there's someone on the other side of the rock. No. Rock protects you, but like you could ping like down. So there's one map where you've got the bridge in the middle, and you've got those two ramps down into the valley. You could stand in the middle, and you could ping the two avenues, and the pulse would go out, and it could pick up if anyone was hiding around those corners. Maybe. I don't know, because if it was a pulse, the terrain would block it, so you could still hide from it. Maybe some kind of sonar pulse. So we had a sonar pulse. A reconnaissance drone, maybe. Like, I said about the pilotable drone with guns. What about just a pilotable drone for reconnaissance? So you could just fly it out, you control it. Lasts for 10 seconds, but you can go out and you can just cue people. Bing, 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 bing. And say, like, if the enemy bot's got one jammer on, you can't get them. You can't target them. You can only see. But someone who doesn't have a jammer, you can get them. Ding. Got ya. Spotted ya. I don't know how hard that would be to make. So we said about skis. What other things? Because it would be nice if there was something that jammers could do other than just the radar detection thing. Like, what about a device that... I said about being in water, and when you fire, the water squiffs the shot. What about if there was a weapon that mitigated damage, like it like prevented a certain amount of hits coming in on you? So say like 20 SMG shits. I can't edit it out. Sorry, 20 SMG hits come in. 20 come in. You gotta forgive me. It's a very long video. 20 hits come in, and this device deflects, say, 4 of them, 3 of them, like a certain amount of damage mitigation of sorts, and it just like makes it like arc off. Another thing, maybe like the sloping of vehicles. Like, you know how sloped armour was in World War II, where it's like ping, and it was also thicker. Maybe slopes having a... No, that probably wouldn't work. Well, we only got one crate left now. 20. Right. Wow. We got to the end. That's it. Okay, so let's look at what we got. Let's start from the bottom. So... Oh, no, I'm going to have to do it with the mouse. Doesn't like that, does it? So we got an awful lot of blocks. Not as many as I thought, as it would be 300 of the things. Quite a lot of flags. So many electroplates. Like, you're never ever going to need electroplates. Football guard face, cosmetic face, weapons, another holo flag. So it's alphabetical. Lots of holo flags, actually. Kazakhstan holo flag, never knew. Lots of cosmetic parts. Loads of cosmetic parts, actually. More holo flags. Never going to need jammers. Flags. More cosmetics. What have we got there? Weapons. Lasers. Thrusters. Teslas. Tank tracks. Wings. So again, eagle parts. Shields. More cosmetics. Lasers. Oh, okay. A lot of glass. Not much helium. Cosmetic parts. Mech legs. Cosmetic. Robot name banner. Only 6. Saber-toothed jaw. Skis. Lasers, wheels, wings. Okay, now we're on the better stuff. Anywhere heads. An altimeter. Bat rudders. 2 aeroflags. Oh, aeroflags are epics. Okay, good. Cockpits, good. Cuban. Carbon with letters. Lasers, nano thrusters. Scary mask horn. Oh, it's the Halloween one, isn't it? Yeah. Speedometers. Oh no, that's not. Mega wheel. Okay, and then finally, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 legendaries from 300 crates. We only got 7. I'm just happy that one of them at least was a power booster, because that's what I was after. Wow. What a long vid. We made it. Tell me, if you have watched this all, tell me about some of the ideas that I was spouting out. I was just trying to think of them, like, as they came into my head, I thought I'd talk about them. If they're any good, let me know. Or if you agree or disagree, tell me about it. Wow, epic vid. I've been Table. Thanks so much for watching. That's 300 crates. I'll see you again soon. Take care.